Right back to the featured table, where James Woods has maintained a slight chip lead over poker legend Johnny Chan. And suited 10-7 for Johnny Chan. He calls. And suited King-Jack for Woods, who checks.
I don't like that, Matt. He's still staying passive. He should be raising with King-Jack suited.
Flops King 8-8. James Woods flops 2 pair. Check.
I think James is going to check raise here. It's a very good flop for him.
So Johnny bets out 2,000. And James just calls.
He couldn't pull the trigger. He was thinking about it.
Turns a 3 of diamonds, and now Johnny's drawing dead.
James doesn't know that.
And they both check.
Continuing his passive play.
River's a 2 of hearts.
James should bet something here, even though Johnny's not going to call.
Nope, just a check. And Johnny checks. James takes down the pot.
Even though he won that pot, and he couldn't have won any more in that pot, he's developing a prevent defense, which is no good.
We take you to one of our outer tables now for what has been a rather one-sided match to date. Howard Lederer has dominated Antonio Esfandiari and has him all in.
This is the second time Antonio has been all in. The last time he had only $850. Now he's got $2,500, so he'll have $5,000 in chips if he wins this pot.
2 well-known players. Howard, known as the Professor, one of the more cerebral players out there, and Antonio, a flashier player, a faster player.
Known as the Magician. He is an actual magician.
Flop comes King 7-9.
Antonio maintains the lead.
And maintains the best-looking fan base with actress Shannon Elizabeth.
Howard's going to need a queen or a 4.
Turns a 10 of hearts.
That's a good card for Howard. Gives him a lot more wins. He could win with a heart, a jack, a queen, or a 4. Disappoint Shannon Elizabeth.
The river is an ace of diamonds, and Antonio's exit was premature. He survives. Sit back down there, young fella.
And Antonio does a little bit of the Antonio wave.
There is life.
We go to another one of our outer tables where Annie Duke, the sister of Howard Lederer, who we just saw, is fighting for her tournament life against Scott Fishman.
Yes, Annie chose to go all in here with a top pair, 5-7 of spades. She's got a backdoor flush draw also.
Turn is an ace of diamonds. No help for Annie.
No help. She's going to need a 5 or a 7.
4. Put the 4 down.
A 4 will make a split. They're friends, so they're both rooting for a 4.
I'm rooting for the 4 too. I don't want to be greedy.
River is a deuce of diamonds, and that'll do it for Annie Duke. Scott Fishman advances into the field of 32.
I think Annie says if you have to lose, it's better to lose to a friend.
We go right back to Annie's brother, Howard Lederer, who for a 3rd time has Antonio Esfandiari all in.
Howard has a pair of 10s. Antonio has an ace, 9 of hearts. He needs hearts or an ace.
There's the ace on the flop, King 5 ace.
And Antonio has pulled some magic out of his hat again. Howard's going to need a 10 to win this pot.
4th Street brings a deuce of spades.
Howard's down to 1 card to catch that 10. 2 10s in the deck. Look at that look of frustration on Howard's face.
The river, a 4 of spades, and Antonio survives again. The Professor's had the Magician backed into corners all night, but he can't deliver the knockout blow. Welcome back to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. Inside, this is what they're playing for, the inaugural Heads Up Championship Trophy. And for more information on the tournament, log on to headsuppokerchamp.com. Biographies on every player and background information on the entire tournament, all at headsuppokerchamp.com. Back inside to one of our outer tables where Howard Lederer again has a chance to knock out Antonio Esfandiari.
Antonio has caught a 6 on 4th Street to give him 2 pair. Howard's got a pair of kings and a flush draw. He needs a king, a queen, a 3, or a club.
The 4th all-in between these two.
Howard had the best hand till the 6 of clubs came up there.
Rivers a jack of diamonds, so not only does Antonio survive elimination again, he's actually overtaken Howard and claimed the lead. And in fact, an all-in slugfest is brewing here as at one of the outer tables, Dennis Wager, a wild card entrant, has a chance to knock out big-time tourney pro Eric Seidel.
I would say Dennis Wager was the wildest of the wild cards. And he's got the best of it in this hand. He's got king 6 and Eric's got queen 9.
You're watching on TV, it's 52-48. Who?
Not really, Dennis. Your advantage is a little bit stronger than that. You're 58-42.
Flop is 6 and a pair of 5s.
No queens, no 9s. That's what Eric needs. Or Dennis Wager's going to pull up the biggest upset of the first round.
Turns a jack of hearts. Still no help for Eric.
Eric needs a queen or a 9.
And Eric Seidel has 1 foot out the door. Let's see if the river card can sit him back down. Nope, that'll do it. Dennis Wager pulls off a huge upset. And Hold'em tournament specialist Eric Seidel is gone in the first round.
I'm really shocked at that. That is the biggest upset of the first round.
The all-in madness continues. We take you right back to Howard Lederer and Antonio Esfandiari, but this time Antonio has Howard covered, and it's a chance for Antonio to move on. This match has been unbelievable.
It wasn't that long ago that Antonio was all in with just $850.
Shannon Elizabeth and the Esfandiariites sensing an opportunity for their hero to move on.
Well, actually, Howard's got the best hand here again. Antonio moved all in with a 10-8, and Howard called him with a king deuce. Let's see if Howard's king high will hold up.
Flop comes 6, ace, 10, and Antonio pairs his 10s.
Once again, Antonio gets the best of the flop. Pair of 10s, Howard's going to need a king.
And the turn is a 5 of spades.
Howard Lederer is going to lose this match unless he gets a king on this card. Biggest comeback we've seen so far, $850 to winning the match.
Rivers a queen of hearts, and Antonio will move on as he eliminates the professor.
As Antonio celebrates, Howard walks away dejectedly. He had Antonio on the ropes. The cards just wouldn't cooperate.
Lindsay's with the winner.
Antonio, it might just be 1 win, but I think you're pretty much the most popular guy here. You got your fan club?
Yep, right here.
Where's cheering section?
You know.
Seemed like you guys were all in, all in, all in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when the blinds get so high, you just have to put the pressure on. So whoever has to act first just kept raising all in.
Okay, but be honest with me. I mean, does the cheering section work?
Oh,
Does
it definitely
help?
works. It definitely works. Yeah, you know, when you have everyone rooting for you, and the other guy's going to get a little agitated.
Back to our featured table now, where there is very little agitation between Johnny Chan and James Woods because the crowd is split between these two. James Woods has a slight chip lead despite some surges by Johnny Chan. Chan with a king 10 offsuit, and he will raise to 5,000. James has queen 10 suited.
James Woods calls here, and it's the right call.
Flop comes out, all hearts, king, trade, jack.
This is a very interesting flop. Johnny Chan has flopped top pair of kings, a flush draw with a 10 of hearts, and James Woods has an open-end straight.
Woods checks. And Johnny Chan, who's covered here, moves all in.
This would be a really risky call for James.
I got to really think this over. I got a really complicated hand here. You know, you have the option of showing me one or both of your cards. You know that.
James said to Johnny, you can show me one or both of your cards, and Johnny totally ignored him
99.50, I think.
and went back to how many chips he has.